Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Knuppe Ranch. This morning I got the Bobcat loaded up, and I'm heading into my house in town, and I'm going to be tearing out an old sidewalk that's in front of my house. Some tree roots and stuff have grown under it, so it's kind of humped and just doesn't look good. And then I've got another sidewalk from like my house to my garage, the same deal. Tree root grew under it and kind of popped the concrete up, so they don't look good no more. So I'm going to remove them, and then eventually down the road I'll probably replace the one from my house to my garage. I'll definitely replace here I don't know when, I guess, but sometime I will, because that's kind of a handy sidewalk to have. But I'm going to tear it out for now just because it don't look the best, and then I'll kind of dress up my yard a little bit once I get a new sidewalk put in there. But anyway, I'm just heading in to tear them out, and then I'll come back home and get the dump trailer, and I'll come back in and load them all up on the dump trailer. And then I might end up hauling in some topsoil today too, because if you've been following the channel, back when we redid my basement, part of my basement on this house, we tore up the front yard pretty good, and when we backfilled and stuff, obviously none of the grass is gonna grow no more. So I've got to haul in some topsoil and plant new grass this spring and early summer, and get some new grass growing in my front yard there, and then we'll be good to go. But anyway, I'll pick you guys up once I get in there and get to unloading this Bobcat and get to work. Okay, so I got the sidewalk tore out, so I'm running back to the ranch to grab the dump trailer, and then I'll bring it in, and then I've probably got like at least two loads of concrete, just because if I get too much weight in the dump trailer, then it won't want to raise up. So I actually might have to pull it up to the shop and plug it in and let it charge for a little bit. The battery that runs a hydraulic pump for the cylinder on that dump trailer, so that because them batteries are getting pretty weak, so it'd be nice to have them at least somewhat charged so I can haul that stuff, and then I'll know it'll dump it out at least. So I'm gonna do that now, and then I'll run back in and load it all up, and then yeah, I think I've got like two loads of concrete to haul out here. And then we've got like an old well. I'll dump that concrete down here kind of like by our burn pile, and then we've got like an old well that we're working on filling in, because we don't use it no more and it don't work. So there's just a giant hole there, so we're working on filling that in. And we used a lot of the concrete from when we redid my basement. We used a lot of that concrete for this to fill in that well, and then we'll probably use this sidewalk concrete to fill in the well as well. So okay, batteries are all charged up on the trailer, so hopefully we can get two loads out of this charge. So Dad and I are gonna head in and load up that concrete, and we'll bring it out and we're just gonna take it while it's dry still, and we can make it down there with the trailer. We're just gonna go right down to the spring and dump it down there, so then we can just take the Bobcat down there, and it'd be a little closer of a haul for us. So okay, well, I got my sidewalk tore out, got the concrete hauled off to close to that well where we can, it wouldn't take us nearly as long to haul that concrete down there, you know, with the backhoe and put it in that well. So it's nice and close for us. And then, so yeah, now I just need to haul some topsoil in and get my front yard all graded out and plant some grass, and hopefully grow some grass and get some stuff looking better in there. And then so yeah, but I think with that I will probably pick you guys up in the morning doing chores. I don't think this section of the video turned out very long, so but I'll pick you guys up when we're doing chores in the morning and take you along for that. And so yeah, I'll see you in the morning. Alright guys, so I know I said I was going to pick this video up when we were doing chores tomorrow morning, but I got bored this afternoon, so I needed something to do. But I've got some like rock screen where they were using quarries to dump, you know, bucketfuls of gravel to screen out smaller rocks. I've got some of those, or we've got a good amount down by the grain bins, but I got two of them up here by the shop. And I'm going to basically, I think I'm going to chop them in half. I haven't quite decided yet exactly how I'm going to do, or you know, what dimensions, but I think I'm going to chop them in half, or pretty close to half, and then I'm going to border it with angle iron and basically make hog panels out of them, because I'm going to get my baby pigs like at the beginning of April is when I'm getting them. I think April 6th or something like that. So I'm going to keep them in the barn under a cover for that time, and instead of using full-size like 4-foot tall hog panels that are hard to step over and feed them and stuff every morning, I'm going to make some smaller ones. And then later on I think I can use these smaller ones when I'm breeding my pigs as well too. So hopefully I'll get multiple uses out of them. But I'm going to keep them in the barn where I can, where they're out of the elements, number one. Number two, I can keep hay in there for them to burrow into, just keep them warmer, because they're going to be about 6 weeks old when I get them, so they'll be pretty small yet. And everybody knows, you know, April, you got chances for rain, snow, all kinds of stuff like that. So I just want to be prepared for the elements, so that when I get my baby pigs, I don't got to worry about them. I'll know that they're burrowed in the hay in the barn, out of the wind and the elements and stuff like that. So I'm going to bring those in, those screening things in, and start figuring out what I want to do and cutting them, and then seeing what we have for angle iron to border it with, or if I come up with a different idea. But so I'm gonna start working on those. So now that I finished cutting that, I don't know why I just didn't keep that on there. That could have been the top of it, and I would have only had to do 2 pieces of angle iron. That was kind of stupid. I guess. I kind of thought that like halfway through cutting it, and I was like, why am I not just keeping this on there? But I was already halfway through, so is what it is. So plans changed. I'm basically gonna do like 16 inches of this stuff on the bottom of the panel, and then above that so basically I'm gonna have an old, we got a ton of old T-posts. So I'm gonna have like an old T-post coming up on this end as an upright, and then an old T-post on this end as an upright, like 3 foot tall, maybe 2.5 feet tall, something like that. And then I'm gonna have 16 inches of this stuff on the bottom. That's gonna be like my solid part for baby pigs so they can't climb out. And then above that solid part, I'm gonna do old T-posts cut to the 4 foot length, running in between as crossbars on the panels too, above that. Just basically because this is free, and all them old T-posts are free because they're just old T-posts that we don't need anymore, because we tore them out of old fences and already replaced them with brand new ones. So all the materials would be free then, so instead of using angle iron and having to buy more, or even using that stuff which cost us something at some point, then at least we can use them old T-posts, and actually at least we'll get a use out of them then. So alright, so I think I got these come out to like 32 inches tall, so that's why I decided to do 16, just because then I can just cut these in half again, and I'll have 4 panels instead of just 2 that are fully meshed. Then I'll have 4 of them that are half meshed and half fence posts. So yeah, I don't know, them fence posts, I don't know how far apart I'll run them. I'll probably get them up here and cut them the length and then kind of see what it looks like, but I will for sure, I'm just going to cut these again in half, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I just did some math and some measuring, and I figured out I'm going to need 7 posts per 7 old T-posts per panel that I'm going to make, and I can make 4 panels out of what I've got cut in the shop right now. So I'm going to run down and load up 28 old panels for these to make the 28 old T-posts to make these 4 panels. Okay, so I got one panel completed. Here it is. See, it's got 16 inches of mesh on the bottom. It's 3 foot tall. And then I've got this piece here I put at the top of this mesh so that, like this here, I could weld to this flat on the other side. So I'll put this to the inside of the pen, so then the pigs, if they get their foot caught up there or something, they won't be scraping and getting hurt from these, the top of these. And then these will obviously be in the ground. So yeah, I got this one, that one, and then a top one. So I don't think any pig is gonna be able to get up there, and even if they can, if they're big enough to get their feet up to here, about two and a half feet off the ground, then they're not gonna be able to fit through that hole because they'll be obviously that big. So my idea, since I'm keeping them in the barn, our barn's, the section I'm keeping them in our barn has a dirt floor. So I'm going to drive good T-posts and wire these panels to them, to these. So that'll keep these things standing upright. And then eventually I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do down the road, probably 1.5 or 2 years when I'm breeding my sows, what I'm going to do for firewing pens and stuff like that. So eventually these panels will be on a concrete floor, hopefully down the road. So I'll have to build some feet or something for these to still sit upright on concrete and be stable enough. So that's all stuff I'll have to figure out down the road. But for now, these are for a dirt floor barn where I can drive fence posts in the ground and wire them to those to keep them upright. But I think with that, that's just about gonna do it for this video. So sorry for the lack of videos here. As of lately, I got sick, and I was sick for a while, and then obviously work and stuff. So, but now I am back to videoing. So, but thanks for watching, guys. If you're new here, remember to hit that subscribe button. And as always, we'll catch you in the next one.